Poster. Welcome back, everyone, to the sixth round of Challenger League Season 20. After a week of a break, we are back here in Norway at Lakeshore for the sprint quali now, with 16 drivers on the grid. And this track, it's quite an interesting one, very long. I think it's the longest track in the season. So one lap here, I think maybe a few small mistakes, you can still get pole after that. So uh, obviously we've passed the first sector with the chicanes, very tough part of the track. Now just these hairpins and this right-hander, and then another hairpin and the last sector. Let's see who is going to have the best time under pressure, one lap quali only, so it's one shot in the rain, very difficult conditions, and it's going to set the grid for the sprint. And let's see, it's Nikhil with a 42.42, very nice time, on pole by 1600ths ahead of Mika, Piggy, Kado, and Albono with a 43 flat, already 6 tenths behind Nikhil. So the gaps are quite huge here. Then Kola, the gamer, Ricky, already close to each other. A bit of a bigger gap to Jerry and Tomatoes closing the top 10. Behind him is Kozil, Loxian in the 6th row, Zura and Axis in the 7th row, and Urist and Toaster in the last row. But yeah, Toaster 3 seconds behind the pole time. I think something might have gone very wrong on that lap. I think definitely can do better, as we've seen him do so far this season. Could be a good recovery though. Wait, let me see. It's 9 laps, right? Yeah, it's 9 laps. Perfect. And we are here on the starting grid for the sprint race at Lakeshore. Nikhil and Mika will lead us away from the front row, and they are away. Mika trying to go for a move around the outside, tries to switch back and into the chicanes. It did look like a very promising move, but Nikhil does keep the lead. Mika does keep P2, and Piggy also keeps P3, but I think Albono improved the place there. All up into P4. They are still quite together, and they will have to thread through these very tight chicanes and hairpins, 2-3 wide. So it's going to be very, very dangerous here in the first few laps, as we see about 6 people who have gotten away with a bit of a gap behind them, a pack for the lead. Behind them, another pack, and I'd say it's like 2 or 3 packs right now. But yeah, Nikhil and Mika and Piggy looking very confident. Though just as I say that, Nikhil makes a mistake and Mika goes through into the lead. Piggy tries to follow but doesn't quite have the space there. Kola in 4th behind them, and Kado a bit behind in 5th. I think the 6th person from that pack just disappeared. I think it was Albono. Must have had an incident or a mistake. But now, oh, Piggy gets pushed into the hairpin apex by Kola, loses the front pack completely. Now, even the gamer overtakes him. I think he lost like about a whole second from that. Might be investigated after the race. Quite an interesting move from Kola and Piggy there in battling. And Kola is trying to get past Nikhil here. Hits a bit of grass, trying to overtake the high pinger. Obviously, battling with a high pinger is it takes way more patience and just experience than people with lower pings. So it might be a bit more difficult to get past the front two. Mika and Nikhil both from North America, playing from North America, so they have pings over 100 as far as I'm concerned. Leading away, and Kola might not even have their slip anymore. Kado in 4th, just following Kola, and P5 the gamer is already a second and a half behind our championship leader, trying to maybe make up some ground on the top pack. Albono behind him, Ricky, Tomatoes, and Nightmare for Piggy as he's down in ninth. He was third for quite a while, had a good start, but just that mistake, I think, ended up resulting in more errors or more chaos there, and he's now down all the way into ninth. So not the best start for a British driver, but he can still make up positions in the next 5 laps as Kado tries to overtake Cola into the chicanes, and they thread it through just about, but Cola loses the rhythm and a lot of time with the rhythm lost, and the Kado is just drawn onto the grass a bit, but maybe only visually because he didn't lose any speed there, as they've completely lost the front two, and Nikhil actually re-overtook Mika. So we are probably going to see a battle of these two drivers for the sprint win. Very interesting battle for sure, as if they work together, I don't think that Kado, Cole, or the gamer can really catch up in the last 3-4 laps, as Kado makes two mistakes on the two apexes there in the chicane section, probably the toughest section on the track. Says the person with zero experience driving on it whatsoever, but it looks difficult, so believe me. And yeah, look, I mean, Kedo is not really gaining time as we have a DNF here. Zura has left the game. Well, I'm not sure. I don't think he was running in the points. I didn't really even see him. So maybe he's just resting a bit for the free feature race where more points are given, obviously. As we are heading into the 7th lap, Nikhil leads from Mika, 1.5 seconds to Kedo, the gamer, and Cola. Maybe we will see a fight for P3 between them. The gamer's pace certainly does look the fastest out of the three, but he didn't have quite the best quali in the sprint, so had to make quite the recovery there. Cola seemed to have made a mistake and lost a bit of time there, so oh, Kedo runs wide and the gamer tries to go for the move into this chicaney, hairpiny thingy, and the gamer actually does make the move. And Kedo is under threat from Cola as well, so Cola will try and move down the inside, and nope. Kedo closes the door. He does not want Cola down the inside, and he lets him know that, but he makes a mistake, and Cola just passes. Oh, but looks like the battle for P4 is not over. I think if they fight like this, the gamer is certainly away with P3, but Cole and Ked are really giving it their all right now. Maybe even El Bono can join this battle as Kedo pushes off Cola, pushes himself off. Yes, as you can see, El Bono completely caught like 1.5 seconds in like 4 corners. Not the cleanest battle ever, as we see Cola and Kedo leg rocket into the grass. Kedo loses 2 positions. Cola still survives. Might have some sort of rivalry in between them, though I've only heard that Jeru and Cola were on weird terms. Didn't know about Kedo, but that battle looked personal. You see, it was very weird. As now Kedo is down into 7th, just fighting with Ricky, which is a far cry from the podium battle he saw as we are into the last lap, and I have not really checked on them, but Nikhil pulled a gap on Mika, and heading into the last chicane, he is leading by 1 second. Nikhil is going to win the Norwegian sprint race. Mika is second, and the podium is finished by the gamer. Kola is 4th. Ricky beats Albono on a photo finish by 100th of a second. Ricky is 6th, and 7th is Kedo. Toaster actually made a really good comeback from last place by a very bad quali, but then turned it around and got into the top 8. So that's a good performance, I'd say. And then Tomatoes, 9th, Piggy closes the top 10. It's very unfortunate for Piggy, but I believe that he can lock in and get some good points in the feature. And out of the top 10, we see Kozil, Loxian, Jeru. 2 rounds ago, Jeru was still leading the championship. Now he's struggling to finish in the top 10. So Maybe in the future, if he can still grab some good points and keep the championship battle, his championship hopes alive. Behind Jeru is Jurist and Axis and Zura, who DNF'd. Relapse quali.
To go will to will. Try to defend.
Please mute your microphone. Well, that works. Yeah, don't worry about it. It was like the part that was going to get cut out anyways because we are not in the race right now. Come on, guys, reading up is not that hard. And we are back for the quali for the future race. This one is going to have 3 laps, unlike the single one-shot quali we've seen at the sprint. So we are going to see way better times. Obviously, the drivers only have to hit one good lap out of the 3 to get a good result here. So they are much more able to drive on the limit of the track. So we are going to hopefully see some really good times here. Unfortunately, I have not a single clue about what is a good time on this track. I think my drivers at LSA do like 40 dot something. So we are going to see laps in that range as well, I guess. And we are heading into the last sector. And the first lap's very important to set a good standard, set a good first lap to lift the pressure a bit. And Tomatoes is actually the one who gets the fast first lap, 2 tenths clear of Nikhil, 40.7. Looks quite solid, I guess. Only 2 drivers under 41 so far, so I think we will see quite a few more drivers potentially getting under 41 and maybe even under 40.7 to challenge for pole as heading into the back straight, second lap. I see Jerry running wide on my screen. So maybe the third lap will be his and a very good time. And let's see the second laps. The gamer actually does go under 40.7, 40.67, and Tomatoes does still stay second. 5 people under 41 seconds now. Pig is still with that 41 flat from the first lap, and overall, I think we've seen about half the field improve. So maybe we can see half the field improve in this lap as well. Maybe somebody can challenge for the pole, maybe Tomatoes, Abono, Toaster, or Nikhil, potentially challenge the gamer, our championship leader, for that pole position in the feature race heading through the last chicane. Let's see. And it is going to be the gamer who keeps the pole with a very impressive second lap of 40.67. Tomatoes with his first lap 40.72, just a bit off. Then Albono and Jeru who improved a lot on his last lap, up in tied P3. Behind them, 2 more people under 41 seconds is Toaster and Nikhil. Piggy with his first lap, which he did with a 41 flat, Kedo 41.03. Then the 2 rising goats in the fifth row, Cole and Ricky. And then Eloxian, Mika, Kozil, and Urist round of the grid, but overall it's way tighter than the vet sprint quali. I think everybody got in quite good laps, so the gap from first to 13th is only 75 hundredths. Yo, Kubo. Ready up, guys. Come on. Yeah, he does have a theme song. Jesus, is Toaster the new Matimar of not readying up? Or is it the gamer? And we are here on the grid for the feature race here in Norway. Sixth round of Challenger League Season 20. The Gamer and Tomatoes starting us off in the front row. Good start from them. Pretty much everybody on the soft, so can't really overtake on the finish straight yet. But in the chicanes we see Tomatoes with a small mistake. Albono trying to get past, just a bit of an awkward movement there. Toaster, Jerry all looking down to get that P2 move there. The gamer might be really happy to see that people are fighting behind him, and he has pretty much gotten away from the slip of everybody else. Tomatoes does somehow keep P2 out amidst all the chaos. Jeru third after a sprint race that was disappointing. He is probably aiming really high in this race, trying to get at least a podium to keep his title hopes alive, but Toaster does get the move done on the straight on Jeru. Toaster potentially trying to get a move on Tomatoes for P2, maybe in here, just following so far though. Then the two Mazars, fifth and sixth, survived the chaos decently well. Cola in seventh, and a few medium-sized gaps behind them, and a pack, which, yeah, pack for like P8, led by Kado. Bit of a chaos there. And yeah, so the gamer and Toaster actually got away fairly well from that first two laps. Nikhil is now third, about a second behind Toaster, so needs to get crank the pace up a bit to fight for higher positions on the podium, and he is being challenged by his teammate and Jeru. So I think the Canadian driver is under a lot of pressure right now to catch Toaster. He might be forced into a mistake by Jeru, although Jeru forces himself into a mistake. As somebody behind him also is the grass there in the hairpin. Jeru, Albono, and Nikhil kind of got separated there, as the two Mazars are now hopefully working together to secure at least a double top four. It's looking to be a lovely team result for the constructors leader team, and you can see why, because you can see why they are the championship leading team right now, because they are working together. They are hunting down Toast and potentially fighting for a double podium here, unlike any other team right now. But it is the gamer who looks the best on pace. Impressive quali for a pole, then good start, just pretty much has been leading since the first moment. So it will be very hard to bring him down. Yes, as we see that Kedo does have to DNF for connection issues. Not the first time, not the first time that I've been commentating a race where he got DNF'd. I think the very last race in India, he also got DNF'd. So very unfortunate for the Frenchman. We hope that he fixes his connection and he can race, as we see Piggy and Eurist in 12th and 13th, just so far behind everybody. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe Piggy got murdered by Kado, and that's why Kado got disqualified. I'm not sure. But looking back at the leaders, Nikhil is actually keeping pace with the gamer. Only lost 500s in the last lap, but Albono and Toaster have lost Nikhil. So we could maybe see Nikhil try to fight the gamer for a win. Oh, as Piggy also leaves the race from P10. Not sure what happened. Maybe some sort of big incident that put him in a low position. Very unfortunate in the sprint, even worse luck in the feature. Hopefully he can turn it around next week as people are starting to pit now, and Nikhil actually has an undercut on the gamer. Maybe this can bring him into the slip. Maybe this could even get him ahead. I think on long tracks like this, the undercut must be like very strong, but yeah, we are going to have to see the gamer on the seventh lap on the softs, about 7 seconds ahead of Nikhil. Not sure how long the pits are, but it's going to be very tight, I think. It's actually going to be probably Nikhil ahead of the gamer now. Only looks like 6 seconds of a gap as the gamer enters the pits. Let's see what tires the gamer picks. Maybe something other than the softs. Yes, the gamer picks the mediums, and you can see Nikhil easily passes him, even Aloxian, though Aloxian hasn't pitted yet. But Nikhil is way ahead, and I think the strategy here for Nikhil is maybe executing two softs and a hard, or stopping one more time than the gamer, because he did pit very early for the softs as well. The gamer is definitely only going to have to pit one more time after this, and he makes easy work of Aloxian there, but couldn't really put up a fight because Aloxian has very worn mediums. He should be heading into the pits soon enough, maybe this lap. Yes, called it. That's what $5,000 of UR2D does to you. And behind the gamer is Bono and Toaster on the soft, so they could potentially catch some time there, maybe even get into the slip. That would be very crucial for them, for potentially fighting for the win, fighting for the podium, or anything like that. Just basically getting the big points from this race, as Cola is fifth, and behind Cola there is a 4.5 second gap to Jeru, Mika, and Tomatoes. But Nikhil also has a very huge gap. I'd say huge for the modern standard, as we have very close races, very balanced racers on skill, I'd say, these last seasons. So a lead of 2.7 seconds, even if after an undercut, is something to be concerned about potentially for the gamer, as Nikhil is putting in very good laps. Nikhil was 6 tenths faster than the gamer last lap, which also his tires are varying, so the gamer potentially made a mistake last lap, but he needs to start making the time back on Nikhil if he wants to fight for the win here, because Nikhil is certainly trying to run away with it. 2 tenths gained this lap as well, and his tires are starting to get yellow in terms of durability, so the gamer definitely should be faster on his green mediums this lap, and Abono and Toaster were unable to catch up to the slipstream of the gamer, so they are going to get Cola on their backs potentially and have a fight for P3, as I think the P1 fight is going to be in between Nikhil and the gamer, and behind them there is that three-way pack, and behind them there is just a huge gap. So I think the top 5 is pretty much locked in unless we see any unfortunate DNFs. So let's see if Nikhil, who pitted lap 6 first time, I think, yeah, fairly certain he pitted on lap 6, so he should be into the pits lap 12 by that logic, maybe on lap 13 if he wants to extend, as he still has almost a 2.5 second lead to the gamer. So just very impressive driving on the worn tires. Let's see if he's going to pit now. And no, he stays out for another lap. I think the strategy for him is just just to pick hards from here to the end of the race. Obviously, we have the two-tire rule, so he can't just put on softs all the way. I think it's a fair, logical choice to do two softs and a hard, very strong on the undercuts and just preying on the last stint. But the gamer just only gained a 10th last lap, while Nikhil's tires are absolutely dead. So maybe the softs are just too strong on this track. Once again, I am not too experienced with that. But Nikhil is, what I see, just put on a very impressive soft stint as he heads into the pits. The gamer stays out, obviously, on the mediums. They have a few more laps in them, and Nikhil does put on the hards, which, yes, it is quite a logical choice. And let's see, Albono and Cola also putting on the hard. So it looks like two softs and a hard is a very popular choice here. Pretty much most people, other than the gamer, are doing it. So the gamer on a sort of alternative strategy there. Let's see what can he get out of these mediums against Nikhil, and he is going to have way better tires for the last stint. So he is definitely going to pit behind Nikhil, and he is going to have to chase down Nikhil, which will be a very, very interesting fight that I'm really looking forward to in the last stint. As for the other positions, three-way fight for P3 is still on. Currently, it's Toaster, Albono, Cola. They are the three people who have done two stops other than Nikhil. So once Jeru and Mika pit from ahead of them, they are going to fight for P3, and they are still relatively close to each other. So it's pretty much a 1v1v1 situation here for the bottom step of the podium, as the gamer goes on to start lap 16 on the mediums. They look quite dire at the moment. So let's see, compare the laps. Nikhil was 2/10 faster than the gamer. So yes, the gamer's tires are absolutely dead right now. He does run into a bit of grass there, which is definitely going to hurt his chances, but another bit of grass, yeah, just a bit undrivable. Ninth lap of the mediums. I think it's a strategy that goes very hard on the tires that he has, because the other people are doing two softs and a hard, and the gamer seems to be doing two softs and a medium. So just insane drifting there on the last lap, and he does put on the softs like I expected. And let's see how much behind Nikhil he is going to be. It is, well, it's about like 3 seconds. Yeah, it's about exactly 3 seconds. He has 7 laps to catch up. I think it's possible, but Nikhil might actually have the less slidey tires by the end. The gamer is doing 7 laps to go, so could be anyone's game to play for. It's also that Nikhil is a high pinger, so might have a bit of an advantage on a photo finish or anything like that. So will be very interesting to see, as Toaster in P3 has pulled away from Cola and Albono, and as Cola and Albono are fighting, Toaster's position is starting to look safer and safer there in P3. Cola now pulled in front of Albono, just a bit of an edging there. And yes, Jeru is 6th, but if you look at the tires, Jeru could actually fight for P4 maybe. He could catch Albono and Cola there. I think it's completely possible if he drives well and those two fight a lot. And let's also compare Nikhil and the gamer's lap time. So Nikhil crosses the line now with a 41.17, and the gamer was slower. The gamer was slower on the fresher softs. It's going to be very hard to win it from here. He lost 600, so pretty much equal pace. But the gamer might be feeling the pressure, might be feeling a lot of pressure right now, as he is not supposed to be slower on the softs. But then again, it might have just been a small mistake. Mistakes can be very costly with these cars. So as I see that the gamer is catching a lot this lap. if we compare the lap times, 41.7 from Nikhil, and the gamer gains 8 tenths last lap. So the game is on, potentially fighting for the win there. And I think the gamer can catch by lap 22 or lap 23 if he keeps driving like this. It's really good pace on the softs, obviously, against the hards. So Nikhil doesn't really stand a chance to outpace the gamer at this point. He just has to try to hold on to the gap that he has now. And it's possible, still possible. It's going to start lap 21 about now. Does the chicane very well, both of them hit it. Nikhil 42.05, the gamer 41.58, half a second gain from the gamer. Just could be enough, but it will be very close. It's going to be incredibly close. And behind them, none of the fights interest me at all, so I'm just going to watch the top two. The gamer versus Nikhil fighting for the win. They are going to start lap 22 soon, heading into the last braking point. Or I don't know if you break into the chicane, you probably don't. And let's compare the lap times again, as they are both lapping Eurist. Nikhil does a 41.8. The gamer gains half a second again. Half a second is not going to be enough. It's going to be very, very close if he only gains half a second. He needs to gain a bit more. He needs to gain at least 6-7 tenths each lap, as this is the penultimate lap. And the gamer softs are going to the 7th lap. So I think Nikhil might just be able to clutch it from here. Nikhil, his tires are also very dead, to be fair, so it's going to be shit tire versus shit tire anyways, but let's see who is better with handling shit tires, as we are going to start the last lap. The gamer can potentially see Nikhil on his screen if his zoom is big enough, and yes, the gamer gained 4 tenths this last lap, but it just looks way faster, as the softs are faster on the straight, and on the straight parts he's going to catch to Nikhil. On the turns he might be losing a bit because he has less grip, but as we head into the second sector, he still isn't in the slip. He might have made a small mistake there, clipping the grass. I think he clipped the grass again on the hairpin, and Nikhil has gained in the second sector, and the gamer just doesn't have the grip. He doesn't have the grip into the hairpin, as makes another mistake. Nikhil just has to make the chicane, and Nikhil, with a brilliant strategy, beats the gamer. Amazing undercuts. The gamer finishes second. Absolute dominance by these two, because Toaster is only finishing about now 10 seconds behind the winner. Cola is fourth. Jeru actually caught Albono. Fifth and sixth there. Mika, Tomatoes, and yeah, the others. What a performance from Nikhil with the strategy against the gamer, who we've seen had immense pace in the last few rounds. But Nikhil pulled through, first with the undercut, then with the second undercut, and then very good hard space. Probably somebody who drives in UL will have to tell me if that was a really good hard space or what, because I've still not driven on this track at all. So yes, final results are Nikhil and the gamer 1 and 2, incredible battle, and then closing the podium is Toaster, who broke away from the chaotic pack there. Then Cola, Jeru, Albono, Mika, Tomatoes, Loxian, Ricky, Kozil, Urist, and the two DNFs, Piggy and Kado. Only 14 started the race.